Disabilities Issues and Updates on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Center for Independent Living, Abilities in Motion.
Hello and welcome to Disabilities, Issues, and Updates. I am Teresa Faulkner, your host. Listen, I just want to tell our viewers about a situation I had this past weekend. I was at the grocery store and I was at the checkout, and a gentleman who was the cashier asked me a question. He asked me, "Can I ask what's wrong with your eye?" And I began to explain to him that I have thyroid/Graves' disease. And it really made me think about if he saw it, then our viewers are probably asking the question, what's wrong with her eye? So if you're dealing with thyroid issues or Graves' disease, please feel free to contact me. We can discuss more. It's a beautiful day here in Berks County, and our topic today is going to be Vision Resource Center of Berks County. Our guest is Mark Levengood, and he is a counselor/social services person at Vision Resource Center. Mark, welcome to our show.
Thank you, Teresa. I really appreciate you having me on this morning.
Wonderful. I just wanted to be able to discuss with our viewers about what Vision Resource Center of Berks can offer them if they're dealing with sight or no sight situations. Please tell our viewers a little bit about the mission of the Vision Resource Center of Berks.
Sure. So I have our mission statement here in front of me in Braille because I am completely blind myself. So I'm not the fastest Braille reader, but I will read it for you here. So our mission at Vision Resource Center is to enrich the lives of visually impaired persons and their caregivers while providing preventative services and education.
Wonderful.
And so that is overall our mission at the agency.
One of the things I was thinking as you read that mission statement was that your goal is to help persons with no vision or low vision to be or to have more independent lives. Is that correct?
Correct, yes. And I appreciate the way you specified that, low vision or no vision, because we are not just here to serve people who are totally blind, but anywhere on the visual impairment spectrum. So, I mean, the reality is the majority of visually impaired persons do have partial vision, whether that's tunnel vision, peripheral vision, light perception, whatever it is. If they are considered to be quote unquote legally blind or visually impaired, then the Vision Resource Center of Berks County can help to provide them with services and give them the support that they and their caregivers need.
Thank you so much. Now, I wanted to ask the question, you expressed or said to our viewers that you have no vision. How are the other staff at the Vision Resource Center? Are they no vision or low vision or a mixture of both?
A little bit of both. I have one colleague, Alicia Santiago. She is visually impaired, and so she and I represent the visually impaired community at the agency. Alicia is our social worker at Vision Resource Center of Berks County, and she primarily works with our Spanish-speaking community who struggles with vision loss as well. Alicia is totally fluent, completely 100% fluent in Spanish. And so whenever we do have someone who speaks Spanish come to us with vision loss or visual impairment issues, Alicia is right there to help and support them. So she and I are the visually impaired ones, and then everybody else has vision.
And what would their, like, I know you just explained about Alicia's responsibility, but those that are low vision, what type of job description do they have at Vision Resource? What type?
What's that?
What type of jobs do they do at the Vision Resource Center? I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine. So Alicia and I are the ones with vision impairment. Everyone else, so we have Lori Schermerhorn, she's our president and CEO, she has sight. Carolyn Crick is our vice president, she has sight. Roseanne is our manager of productive services, and she leads our transportation services. She's sighted. Sue is our accounting, financial manager. She has vision. So Carlos runs up our custodial services. So everyone else has vision.
I like the fact that you said about Alicia, she is bilingual or she speaks fluent Spanish. It's very good not only to be able to deal with the sight situation, but to be able to speak the language to those that are coming into your center, that they would totally understand the process. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and so I shared with you earlier our mission statement, but if I could also share with you the overall vision of the agency.
Absolutely, go ahead.
It is to offer early detection and community education while providing support services, rehabilitation, and advocacy for visually impaired persons and their caregivers. So that kind of, between our mission statement and our vision, that kind of gives you a pretty good synopsis as to who we are and kind of what we're looking to do.
Wonderful. That would bring about a question to me. If persons are looking for help due to blindness or low vision, are they referred to you from a doctor's office? How do persons get in contact with you? Must they be referred, or can they contact your center individually?
Both. Okay. A lot of our clients do come to us. We have a really good relationship with the eye doctors throughout all of Berks County, because please understand, we are not eye doctors ourselves. We're not optometrists and ophthalmologists. But we do have a really good rapport with the eye docs throughout the county. And so when the different eye doctors' offices get a visually impaired person coming through their doors, they will send a referral to us. Or a person can certainly come to our office and you know, just be a walk-in or a call-in and say, you know, I'm struggling with visual impairment, I need help. And we'll take it from there. So either both work just fine.
Wonderful, wonderful. So the persons who are watching, you could be referred, or you can actually contact them directly and make them aware of what it is that you need. Let's talk about ages. Do you serve certain ages of persons? How does that work, Mark?
We serve all ages. I believe the youngest client I've ever worked with was 2 years old. We met her, I think, about 6 years ago. I think she at this point is 8 or 9. But yeah, when we first met her, she was 2. So she's the youngest person I've ever met at Vision Resource Center. And I think the oldest was like 96, 97, 98, somewhere right around there. So any and all ages. I mean, I will say it can be difficult for us to work with school age because, you know, our hours of operation are occurring while they are at school. And during the school hours, a lot of times their personal TVI or teacher of the visually impaired will be taking over, or the BCIU, the Berks County Intermediate Unit. But still, for those school age kids, we try to do programs on Saturdays or during the summer, so that those kids, that community is also being reached by us. So we are, I mean, like I said, 2 to 98 are the extremes of what I've worked with. So everything in between.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, some of our viewers like numbers. They are statistics. They like to hear what your numbers look like. Can you tell us about the number of persons you served in Berks County? It could be over the years or current statistics.
Yeah, our numbers are always in flux. It's hard to pinpoint an exact number. I mean, I can tell you our agency has been around since 1929. And we've been in our current building. We're located at 2020 Hampton Boulevard, right at 19604. We're just down the street from Albright University. So we've been in that current facility since 1957. The Reading Lions Club built and constructed that building specifically for us. So we've been around since 1929 in that 2020 Hampton Boulevard facility since 1957. So it's hard to know, because going back that many decades, we didn't have computer records back in the in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. So it's hard to know cumulatively how many people we've served. And that number is always changing as new clients come, and as clients sadly pass away or move out of our jurisdiction. So the number is constantly in flux, but several hundred anyway at the present moment, at the very least.
Oh. Yeah. Oh. Now, I know that there are many persons who really are looking for opportunities to volunteer. What does that look like for a person to volunteer at your center?
So we love volunteers. Anyone who is open to serving the community, and specifically the visually impaired community of the county, we are open to it. We have a lot of volunteers. Pretty much any of our smaller committees are comprised of volunteers. So like property committee, finance committee, workshop committee, site conservation committee. All of our committees are based on volunteers, as well as our board of directors are all volunteers. And as someone who works in support services, my primary interaction with volunteers is our volunteer drivers. We try to do monthly activities and programs for our clients. And of course, visually impaired people can't drive. So in order for them to attend, we need volunteer drivers. So anyone who is interested in doing that, please contact me. We would be more than happy, more than grateful to receive any of your support that you're willing to provide. And just so you know, by agreeing to be a volunteer driver, it does not lock you in to having to do X amount of hours a week or a month. Generally speaking, we do 2 events per month. Usually they're on Wednesdays. And basically by signing up to be a volunteer driver at the Vision Resource Center, all you're committing to is to get an email from me at the start of every month to communicate the dates, times, and locations of our activities that month. And you do what you can, when you can, and we're grateful for all of it. I mean, like, we have one volunteer driver who's a snowbird. So he goes south in mid-December, and we'll see you in mid-May. And that's fine. We're grateful for the support he offers us from June through November. It's what you can do. It's whenever you're available, and we're grateful for all of it. So by signing up, you're really just committing to receive an email from me once a month. And beyond that, whatever you're able to do, we're appreciative for it. But if anyone wants to be a volunteer, whether a volunteer driver or on one of our committees or in any capacity, you can contact our Vice President, Carolyn Crick, at 610-375-8407, extension 110, and she will get you set up. And if you're looking to do volunteer driving, you'll start with Carolyn, and then you'll come to me. She'll direct you to me.
Thank you so much for sharing. because I believe in this day and time, persons are looking for opportunities to give back to others. So we thank you for that information concerning being a volunteer at the Vision Resource Center.
Sure.
Let's talk a little bit about the areas you all serve.
So we cover all of Berks County. My understanding is that, and I could be wrong about this, but my understanding is that each county has something comparable to what we do at Vision Resource Center of Berks County. So as a result, the county lines are pretty strict, but as long as you're within the lines of Berks County, you're in our jurisdiction and we will cover you. And I'm more than happy to do it. So Berks County is a very large county and we cover it all. So as long as you're within the Berks County limits, you're in our territory.
So those that are watching, if you're not in Berks County, they could still call your center and then you would be able to refer them to other counties that are out of our service area of Berks. Is that correct?
Correct, because Lori Schermerhorn, our president and CEO, she is in communication with the other executive directors like herself at the other county level agencies for the visually impaired. So yeah, if someone is just over the county line and thus beyond our ability to help them, still contact us and then we can put you in contact with the county agency for the visually impaired in your county. Absolutely.
Thank you. Let's talk a little bit about the programs that are offered at Vision Resource Center.
Sure, we offer a lot. So one of our clients' favorite activities has always been the Lunch Bunch. That is basically a monthly activity or program where we go out to a local Reading restaurant and just have a time of fellowship while we eat lunch with other people who also live with vision impairment, experience the same day-to-day struggles and experiences, and it's just a time to get out in the community and fellowship with one another. Now, we were doing that routinely once a month pre-COVID. And of course, when the pandemic hit in March 2020, that went on hold. We have done a couple lunch bunches here and there at the agency, but starting in August, we are looking to reintroduce this program on a monthly basis. I've been in communication with all of our restaurants. They're ready to have us again. So starting in August, we're gonna return to the monthly lunch bunch outing. That's always on the third Wednesday of each month. We also offer sight loss support group. That's always on the fourth Wednesday of each month. It's a 2-hour time at the Vision Resource Center. I lead the support group, and it's just a time to come together to discuss various issues, struggles, dynamics pertaining to the world of visual impairment. We discuss technology and assistive equipment and gadgets. Clients share personal struggles or experiences they've had. I'll pull articles and so forth from the news and different news accounts that are happening. We'll discuss those. Developments in terms of medical science and technology for vision restoration and what's on the horizon with that. So that's kind of the topics covered at our monthly sight loss support group.
Wonderful, wonderful.
We also have what's called social and recreational activities. They occur once a quarter. And they basically are just these fun activities that the clients have asked to do, and we make it happen. So for social rec activities, we've done everything from horseback riding, mini golfing, bowling, a trip to Shady Maple, swimming, descriptive movie day, a dance, you name it, we've done it. We've gone apple picking. So whatever the clients want to do, we try to make it happen. We offer vision screenings. We're actually looking for a new caseworker right now to lead up our vision screenings, but our former caseworker retired at the end of May. But we do about 3,000, maybe 3,500 vision screenings per year for kids ages 6 months old up to 6 years. And a lot of times, I mentioned earlier, early detection being key. a lot of times these kids have visual impairment and they don't even realize it because they were born with it. And unless the parents have taken them to an eye doctor to discover it, they don't know, quote, good vision from poor vision. All they know is the poor vision they were born with. So our vision screenings oftentimes will uncover this. I offer counseling, one-on-one counseling services. I know earlier you said you're into numbers. Since I came to Vision Resource Center in February 2013, I've counseled with 65 individuals, and I presently have 23 active counseling clients that are receiving counseling services with me. And then our transportation services, I mentioned earlier, Roseanne, she provides our transportation. So if clients need to go to the doctor, if they need to go shopping, whether it's for groceries or department store, clothing, whatever, if our clients contact Roseanne, make an appointment, she will take them to the doctor's office, to the grocery store, to the department store, CVS, whatever, help them pick up what they need, get them through their doctor appointment, and then return them back home. And so she heads up our transportation. And then again, I mentioned earlier about Alicia providing our Spanish support to any of our Spanish-speaking clients within the county. So Alicia heads up that program as well. So it kind of gives you an idea of some of our programs and services.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mark, for doing that. I want to let our viewers know again, if you have questions or it's a lot of information that we're giving in about 30 minutes, you can always contact Vision Resource Center and they'll be more than happy to go into more detail with you. Mark, we only have a little bit. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, if I could quickly just share on top of that, if people do want to contact us, our phone number to the main office is 610-375-8407. Our website is www.vrcberks.org, and we are on Facebook.
Thank you, Mark. We're going to be soon going off the air, but I'd like for you, as much as possible, to share your story in reference to not being sighted.
Sure. So I was born with vision, and in February of 2003, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. So at that time, I was 13 years old and an 8th grade student, and after my brain tumor diagnosis, I was taken into the operating room for a biopsy procedure. And when I went into the surgery, I had vision. And when I woke up, it was total blindness. And it has remained in the 19 plus years, almost 19 and a half years since. So there are so many different ways people can lose vision. Obviously, there's the common ones like macular degeneration, glaucoma, retinitis pigmentosa, but then there's the more rare occasions like mine with a brain tumor, or we have a couple clients who lost their vision following a gunshot wound or car accident with detached retinas, or cancer of the eyes, and people had to have their eyes removed to get rid of that cancer. So, there's all different kinds of ways people can lose their vision. But regardless of how a person loses their vision, how old they were when it happened, how long ago it happened, or again, how much vision remains, because again, most visually impaired people have partial vision. Vision Resource Center of Berks County is here to serve and to provide that support to all those individuals as well as their family and friends and caregivers.
Thank you, Mark. One of the things I just want to ask, how did assistive technology, you were 8, I'm sure you're not 8 anymore, but how did assistive technology help you as you were going through this process when you lost your sight?
Sure. So, I remember being told back in 2003 as an 8th grade student, when I was 13, that, while you never want to lose your vision, if you're going to have to go through that struggle, this is the era in which to have to deal with it, because there is so much technology, so much adaptive equipment and assistive devices. So, just to give you an idea, there's screen reader softwares for computers, which basically convert anything that is text on the screen into spoken auditory voice. the mouse is eliminated and the whole system can be run with keystrokes. So I personally, the screen reader software I use is called JAWS, which stands for Job Access with Speech. It's produced by a company called Freedom Scientific in Florida. And again, the mouse is eliminated. The entire thing is done with keystrokes. And that's how I got through high school and college, and how I'm doing my job now is through the JAWS program. It's a regular sighted person's laptop with the JAWS program downloaded on it. There's also a program called ZoomText, very similar, but ZoomText is created more for people with partial or limited vision. And there's actually now a program called Fusion, which actually combines both ZoomText and JAWS for people with degenerative conditions where they might have vision now, and so ZoomText works now, but their degenerative condition's going to result in total vision loss, and so they'll need JAWS later. So they use a program called Fusion. I'm able to use, other visually impaired, totally blind people can use touchscreen devices like iPhones, iPads, Androids, and tablets through, again, screen reader software. With Apple, the screen reader software is called VoiceOver. It's on every iPhone, it's on every iPad, and on Androids and tablets, it's called TalkBack. But either way, it's a screen reader software where the text is done or converted into speech.
Wonderful.
And so even these touchscreen devices are accessible to someone like me who's totally blind.
Well, I'll tell you, that information makes me want to know more. And I'm sure our viewers are saying, tell me more, tell me more. Mark,
Sure.
I want to thank you for being on our show today. Again, if persons are looking for additional information, please contact the Vision Resource Center of Berks County. Thank you so much again, Mark, for being on our show. Thank you, viewers, and until the next, goodbye.
Disabilities Issues and Updates on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Center for Independent Living, Abilities in Motion.